No one is talking about this investment, but it has helped me make 6 figures a year in passive income and become financially free in my 30s. I'm getting payouts just like this one every month. So the investment I'm talking about is a MIC, or Mortgage Investment Corporation. This is where I pool my money with other investors and loan it out on mortgages and then get paid the interest. Some of these can be super risky, so you need to make sure that you do your research before you start. I'm going to go over some red flags and things that I would never invest into at the end of the video. Okay, so when you think about making any investment, you want to be doing it from a defensive standpoint. You know how you were taught to drive defensively because you can't control everyone else on the road, but you can control yourself? Your own actions will keep you safe. That's how we invest. We can't control the market, but we can control our actions to keep our money safe. Let's talk about some key factors that I look at when selecting a MIC. Number 1 is going to be loan to value ratio. The higher the LTV, the riskier the loan. For example, let's say you had a $100,000 house and you were loaning out $80,000 of that $100K. This is an 80% LTV. This is much riskier than something with, say, a 60% LTV, because if there are any fluctuations in the market and the price of the house changes, and the borrower defaults, they don't pay their loan, there is more wiggle room to help you recoup the money that you've invested. Number 2 is mortgage position. This determines who gets paid out first if the house is sold. Who has first claim to the money that comes in. There can be first, second, and third positions. The higher the position, the riskier the loan. The next point you need to look at is the borrower. Who is asking for this mortgage and why? Is it because they're a blue-collar worker and they make really great money, they just don't show it on paper? Is it because they're a credit risk? Is it because it's something weird that the banks won't finance? On that note, when it comes to the borrower, I would never invest into a MIC that loans on land or development soft costs. Think things like marketing and sales offices. I also won't do long-term loans, loans to businesses, or one-to-one lending. I want to be diversified. The MICs I invest in typically only offer like 6 to 12 month short-term bridge loans. The next really important factor you need to look at is the history of the fund and the management. How many borrower defaults have they had? How do those typically get resolved? How many properties have they had to take back and sell? Have they lost money? If so, how much? How do they complete the underwriting process? What is the experience of the management team? Now, this is obviously not an exhaustive list, but it's a good starting point for your research. The first step to making your money work for you, making passive income your reality, is closing that knowledge gap. This may seem overwhelming, this may seem hard, but it's just because it's the first time you're hearing money is a skill and skills can be developed, so give yourself the capacity to learn. The more you expose yourself, the easier it'll be. And I'm your girl to help you get started. If you want to learn more, check our link in bio and start with our free trainings or apply to work with me as your 7-figure mentor.